Hello, we'll go over some of the features of our new client portal. See here on your screen, this is the landing page for the portal. It does integrate with Office 365, allowing for single sign-in. So as long as you know your Office 365 username and password, you can log right in. There's also a desktop app that will bypass your login as long as you're logged into your domain. Once you log in, you come to a landing screen as such that just kind of gives you some quick and easy access to some support related issues. See here, we customize this per your company and then also have some default information inside here as well. Over on the left-hand side is your menu where you get to kind of go through and view different things. We are currently logged in as an administrator, so we get to see a bunch of different things, and that's how we'll go ahead and go through this. There's a company tab over on the left. From here, you can access all your applications that you have. So this could be used as a one-stop shop to launch all your applications. These can be cloud applications, but these can also be programs that you had installed locally on your computer as well. We can throw shortcuts for those inside here. For instance, if you have AutoCAD or QuickBooks or something, we could put a link right here and you can just launch the program straight from here. Moving on down underneath the company, this is all things related to your company as a calendar. You have the ability here to go ahead and enter and access shared calendars. This is all live. You'll see a little red bar going across the top here as it goes out to Office 365 and grabs some calendars. You see different color coding here. I have two different people's calendars up here. They're coordinated by different coloring. And you can just quickly view some of the details about that calendar there. So a lot of companies have, for instance, a calendar for a conference room or something. That's the ability to go ahead and have that all here inside this portal here. There's a company directory where you can see all the different people that work with you at your company here. It's highlighting somebody, gives you the ability to go ahead and send a new email straight from here, or even a Teams chat. Documentation. So this will contain documentation that not only that us, the Miller Group, creates for you, IT related, but then you can also use this internally, things that are completely non-related to IT if you would like. As the administrator of your company and like the point of contacts and management could be assigned administrative rights, they'll have the ability to go in here and create new content where they can type in a category, one that's already there, add a new one, subject, publish date, blah, 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 and then actually have a full HTML, what you see is what you get type editor here where you can put in pictures, you can put in links, you can embed video, a whole bunch of different options. You have the ability to go ahead and make this a favorite article and then even pin it to that beginning page that we saw at the very beginning there. You can create groups inside here as well. So for instance, by default, it just comes with the admin and everyone group, but you can create like a marketing group or a service group or an accounting group and just make certain things available to be seen by those people inside that group. And then messages. So these messages can be things that we're sending out from the Miller Group ourselves. So for instance, when like Microsoft's having an issue with Office 365 and email and everything's not working, we can actually shoot out a message to everyone, all our clients. So everybody gets that message. If you're using the desktop application, it will pop up. In addition, it'll show up inside here, but in addition, I'll pop up at the bottom right-hand corner of your screen as a Windows Toast notification. So it kind of broadcasts out really quick. If you're not using the portal for whatever reason, you will receive a daily digest of messages that you missed from the previous day. So only if there was a message that you didn't get, it will come through. So it's not like you get an email every day. Pretty slick inside there. And then as an account, as an administrator for your account as well, you can go inside there and create new messages and communicate with your company this way as well. Then the thing that, so then we go down to support. report. And the first one on the list is the Office 365 status page. So this is pulling straight from Microsoft's status page, showing you all their different applications and any advisories or issues that they're having currently going on right now with delivering their services. Gives you some details, exactly what's going on, all listed inside there. This is what you use the Miller Group for mainly, is to report problems and have issues. So for instance, inside here, we do have some default things, but you can see I added some custom ones. So we use a product called Autotask here internally, and we have some issues that relate directly to Autotask where we can ask some questions. So we'll have some default ones for all our customers, but we'll go back through all the tickets that you've created over the past couple months and try to look for some trends and create some custom type issues related to you. But inside there, what we can do though is we can actually do some pretty good details. So for instance, in this one, I cannot access specific websites. Well, from there, we're going to start asking you questions about what websites you can't see. And we can customize these questions per company, per issue, allowing us to help you and us trim down or get down to the crux of what the issue is. So that way, when the ticket is submitted, the technician on our end here will have all the information that they need to quickly resolve your issue, as opposed to you just saying, I have a problem. So we're super excited about the ability to go ahead and customize these questions to your company and to your needs. When a ticket is created, though, we'll go ahead and show you that. It gets put into the support tickets. This is where you'll see it here. So these would be any tickets that are open that happen to have that you created, and then any tickets that are closed that you created. As a company administrator, you'll get to see all your company's tickets right from here. And then, for instance, again, this is live data. You'll see the little red line going across the top. It's pulling this information live. So you'll see all the tickets that have been closed inside here. Opening up a ticket will get you some of the details of the ticket here on the screen. He says, okay. From within there, you'll see all the notifications or the communication back and forth with the Miller Group there will all be listed inside here. You have the ability to go ahead and add future comments to that or attach files. But then also, as the client yourself, you can go ahead and close this ticket or even cancel this ticket straight from within inside here. Any communication that the Miller Group does with you on your ticket will pop back up in here and also give you a notification. Then you have the ability to go ahead and request things that are not problems, not issues, but new services or adding a new user or anything like that. So for instance, inside here, we do have the ability to go ahead and create and customize new user forms or new user requests per your company. This is just a default one that we have inside here, but then we can add questions like, and actually list some details. So for instance, what we could put in here is what printers does this user need access to, and actually list your printers inside there. What kind of email format do you want the user's email address to be in? What groups in Office 365 do the distribution list groups do they need to be a part of? We can really go into great detail. Do they need a phone? If they need a phone, do you know what their extension is going to be? We can put a lot of details in there. That way, when we receive that request, the back and forth that we sometimes go through trying to get all the things worked out will be there. So we would like your account manager to sit down with you and go into great detail what needs to be included in a form like this. And the same can be said for going ahead and ordering some new hardware as well. So for instance, if we wanted to order a new laptop, we can put some details in here and even customize this per your needs at your company, and asking whatever questions that we need to ask there. That way, when we get the request, we can make sure that when we fulfill that request, we're not having to do any work after the fact, and your new user or your new equipment is ready to go right when we deliver it, and there's no more issues or concerns or anything else that we need to do afterwards. Another great feature that we included in here that we're really excited about is some user-based, user-paced training. We partnered with a company called Bigger Brains, who has some great content out there. So for instance, this one is a little bit of a cybersecurity one. Any of these courses here will give you a little rundown of what the course is. You go ahead and enroll in the course. And then down here at the bottom, then you can start taking these lessons. So for instance, this one here is a video that goes through 10 little steps. And then I think there's some questions at the end there. Over on the right-hand side, it's broken down into popularity and categories, and even tagging if we want. So if we want to look at all the different Teams videos that are in there, they're right there. Anything on Microsoft Forms, some business skills. So it's not all just technology related. There are some other business related things inside here as well. A great thing as an administrator for your company, though, we can go ahead and make some of these things as requirements. So you can see here at the top, I do have some required learning. So your users would have to go through and take these certain courses. And then you as an administrator can come over here on the left underneath training, see things that you have required, see who's enrolled. There should be one here. Well, I guess it didn't update yet with my enrollment, but it would show ones that people have enrolled for, and then things that have been completed as well. Underneath training as well, Microsoft's constantly updating all their applications, all their Office applications, putting in new features or taking some features out as they kind of retire some of those features. And so inside here is a list of all the Microsoft changes, and you can filter these out again by different categories, and you can then open it up and look at the details inside there. This way, it's just kind of giving you and your users a little bit more insight onto different changes and features that are coming with Microsoft and kind of keeping you up to date. The next one is quick starts. This is great to kind of give just some pointers on how to use some of the Office 365 products. For instance, inside the PowerPoint here, there's just 4 different pages of how to use PowerPoint. So if somebody's not really familiar with how to use one of the Microsoft products and kind of wants to get started quick, they can come in here and take a look at some of these. And then they have the ability, like most things, to go ahead and download items that are inside there, and they can print them off and do what they want inside there as well. All right, so those first couple categories are what's available to all your users, and again, we're trying to make the request to support when you guys are having issues. We're trying to get that to be a quicker turnaround and resolve those issues quicker. So by using this portal, we can really customize the issues that you guys are having to try to get as much information as possible. Some of those tickets I didn't show you, but it has the ability to go ahead and include a screenshot, and then also there's some diagnostic reports that it'll send on the ticket with us, so we have even more information about what's going on your computer at the time that you create the issue. But moving down further from that, though, from the infrastructure on down, is only what the point of contact or any kind of administrator that we have on your account would see. So underneath, and again, this is a whole bunch of data that we collect on your company here. So underneath adoption, you'll get to see here all your different users. This is their email. So how much email are they using? What's their current quota? Is there anything we need to be concerned about? A great thing about this and everything else here, though, is the ability to go ahead and see issues. So your account manager is going to be looking at this information, but you can too. So say, for instance, here we're looking at Brandon's, and we want to know, why does Brandon have 26 gig of data? That seems high to us. Not really, but let's just say that was our issue. We can go ahead and highlight Brandon here, and and then click on the planner button. And then we can go ahead and select an issue here. We can just say, hey, this would maybe be productivity and efficiency. We could say Brandon, and never mind my spelling, and then type in the description of what we want, and we hit submit. Now, what's great then, and we'll get more into this a little bit later, but that you can come down to your planner and actually see that details, and we'll go over the planner here in a second. Teams will show you who's all using Teams, their engagement with Teams as well, and then Yammer, which no one uses, in SharePoint. The data is there. With all of these, over on the right-hand side, you'll notice a little chart list. So you can pull up charts and view some of this, the information in different looking formats. Over more, we have some more data. This is the OneDrive related data. Your licensing. So this is all your Office 365 licensing, how many licenses you have available to you, how many you're actually using, which is great to go ahead and review just in case you're not using all that you're purchasing. Again, as your account manager, we'll go through this as well. Shows all your users. Another check that we have in here too is if they're using two-factor authentication. Shows their last activity, and this is their last activity logging into the portal here. Any aliases that you guys may have as well will be listed here, and then any user groups that you've created with inside this portal will be here. The voice one on the left is if you're using Microsoft Teams for your voice over IP, it will show inside there. There's only one of us here that's actually doing that. I'm not sure where that data is at. Anyway, underneath security. So these are your backups. So if you're using the Miller Group to do your BDR solution using a Datto product, it will be listed inside here. Cool thing about it is it will show actually the last screenshot and kind of all the status on the last time the backups have worked. If you happen to see an issue, or we as your account manager happens to see an issue, again, it's really easy for us to go ahead and just click on Add Planner. And again, I'll show you that planner in a second, but to go ahead and take a note of that. So if you're going through this in the middle of the night or early in the morning or whatever, or maybe you're going over this in a process of a couple of days, you can go ahead and just click on that planner to go ahead and create notes. And that way, not only will you remember what's going on, the questions that you had the next time you talk to us, but we'll also see those as well. Data breaches is it goes out and we will look up your email address on the dark web and pull up any breaches that you've been included in, which is great. It's a little bit after the fact, but it kind of drives home the fact that you need to be using good password hygiene. But inside here, though, if you click on a person's name, it'll actually give you some details about the breaches, which is great, kind of showing you, who the vendor was, what happened to them, what kind of information was taken out of there, and then even a link to an article about that as well. Email is just going to give some activity over the last month of just kind of all the emails that you sent, all that have been read by your whole company, all that have been open, just kind of seeing some trends. And then your logins will show you your Office 365 logins, showing everybody inside here that happens to have two-factor authentication enabled, who are company administrators at your place. All that good information is right inside there. We skipped over infrastructure. Inside here are all your domains. We can put you can put even more detail inside here. All this information is being pulled automatically from Office 365, but we can add domains that are not included in Office 365 in here as well. But then inside there, you can actually add some more details as far as who the host is inside there as well, the hosting company, and some contact information. So you can put some information in here so you have it all at your fingertips, and then you can always see who's coming up for expiration. This lists all your computers and gives a lot of information about them: the last user, what OS, the manufacturer, make and model, some security information inside here as far as, the hard drive encrypted. Are they using OneDrive? What antivirus do they have inside here? When's the last time updates have been done? And then even performance, which is a great place to kind of see who's got quick computers and who doesn't. You can go ahead and sort any of these categories by for instance, this performance one, takes a look at the processor and the memory and kind of provides a score for it. So this gives you a good idea who's got some good PCs here, and then on the other end, who's really got some slow PCs. Another way to look at this data, though, is by pulling up these charts over on the right-hand side. So you can kind of see computers, for instance, here, there's a whole bunch that are older than 3 years old, some that are less than 2 years old. You can look at the warranty information inside here as well. You can pull up all the different makes and models that you have. We want to do manufacturers instead. We should only have a few. You can see all that information inside here. Viewing things a whole bunch of different ways. Same things for the servers. You can look at your servers and see all that information inside there as well. Clicking on the servers or even the desktops, though, you have the ability to go ahead and click on the hard drives, and you can see trends how much disk space being used over time, which is pretty cool. You get to see all the different user accounts that are on that. This being a server, it doesn't have any local user accounts, and then any software that's installed on there. Again, if there's any questions or things that you see or want more explanations about, you can just click on this planner thing. Go ahead and choose one of these and type in some information. And again, it shows up then when we go to do your review. Devices on the network is going to show all the computers and Internet of Things and printers and cameras and just anything that happens to have an IP address that's on your network. It'll show them all inside here. We use this to go ahead and identify anything that's on your network to make sure that we have it secure. Or if there's any issues with it, we want to know. So we have them all showing here. And then these are all the different subnets that are on your network and the ones that we're actually scanning. This being our infrastructure here, it's quite complex. So there's a lot of information inside here. And then software, we have the ability to go ahead and look at all the software that's installed on all your computers. We can go ahead and categorize these things. For instance, this is a utility, WinZip is utility, and you can go ahead and make that as such. Most of them are, there a good portion of them already are categorized to begin with, but there's a lot of different pieces of software that are on your computer. You can find information on here. For instance, let's just say, let's look at installs. Let's just say that everybody needs to have this Google Update helper installed on their computers. We can then go down into, as the Miller Group here, create a policy and make sure that all computers show this. If they don't, a notification will be shot up. Same thing being said, maybe there's a piece of software that you want to make sure no one has on their computer. For instance, maybe Spotify. You don't want anybody listening and streaming music. We can create a policy that will notify us and you if there's anybody using Spotify. That way you'll know about it. And that information will show up down here underneath compliance. So we have different policies. We do them in different sections here. So if we wanted to look and say proficiency, this one's red. We look over on the right-hand side here. It shows that one of the checks we're doing is to make sure that all the computers are using SSD hard drives for performance and speed inside here. Clicking on that, we'll see that we have a list of computers that are not using that. So we can click and add that to our planner for things that we want to go ahead and discuss. You'll see things inside here as far as like last updates on servers. This server hasn't been updated in a while, and you'll actually see, it's been since April. The computer's offline, but that's why. Reports, we can gather reports from our different tools and dump them inside here. There's not much showing here just yet, but there's going to be more to come. There's detailed information on the antivirus. We can actually put in website reports if we're hosting your website. More details on the different computers, diving into those even further. A whole bunch of information that we can throw inside there. And again, this was the training course that we were looking at there. The alerting is just showing the different jobs that run automatically here to find this information, and then any kind of logs, any kind of errors or things that are going on there as well, or changes to your account. Dashboards is a really slick way of looking at all this information in different views. But we can include anything inside here in these dashboards. So for instance, this is a little COVID map. It's interactive where you can actually dive deeper into any of these states or counties and stuff. Pretty slick. Cybersecurity is one that we're just taking, ways to kind of keep yourself protected. So making sure you have antivirus, who doesn't have passwords on their computer, whose hard drives are not encrypted, blah, blah, blah. We have one up here for internet speed. So a quick way for you to test your internet connectivity. You can click on right here. It'll do an internet speed test. We're going to put that in different sections as well. Office 365, a bunch of things that we looked at just in different views and formats here. Compliance, again, this is kind of pulling up your different policies and looking at the things that you kind of need to look at. Again, we can add any kind of dashboard that you want or even we want to throw inside there. We can do that. And then feedback here will show us your interaction with us as far as on the tickets, if you've been happy or sad. With the amount of service that we have, all that information would show up inside here as well. Underneath service, we are showing the tickets that you have submitted in the last 30 days, last 7 days, last 90 days are all inside here as far as breaking them down into types and issue types. There's a whole bunch of information. Invoices over on the left-hand side is going to pull all your invoices in. Since we're looking at the Miller Group here, we don't have any invoices, but you would be able to click and open that invoice and actually view it and then download that invoice here. Same thing with quotes. It will show you all the open quotes for your company. Again, looking at us as the client here, you see the red line, it's pulling this data in live. I do not believe we have any quotes, so it may not show there, but the quote would be listed. I'll show you a sample. Oh, we do have some quotes there. So clicking on any of those quotes will, again, this is live information. It'll pull it in. You can actually then open up the actual quote itself and view it inside here in PDF format. Pretty slick. All righty. Then the planner board. So this is where we will kind of do our business reviews with you. This is the information that we're going to look to kind of show you your status. So, what you need to do, what we recommend to do, putting together a plan for you, a yearly plan with budgeting information as well. And then over on the right-hand side, anything that we have put in place and have completed for you will be listed over there. So you can kind of see what we've been doing for you over time. I don't have mine filled out here, which is why it's kind of showing empty. But, for instance, inside here, let's just say we're going to, hire 10 new people. They're going to be hired in January. We can put as much description that we want inside here for this, including some pricing as well. And then over on the left-hand side will be other things that maybe we, for instance, here, this is that one that we were looking at for Brandon about his email box. We noted it. It showed up in here underneath recommended. We can discuss it during our meeting here, our business review, and then we can even put it on the board, for instance, and just say, hey, this is something we want to discuss in Q4. Another way to view all the different issues, you can click up here on list and see things that have been installed, haven't been installed. And again, these are going to be the things that the Miller Group suggests to keep you your data secure and have you running efficiently. And then any meetings that we've had with you will be shown here, or any upcoming meetings that we've had with you will be shown here, including inside these meetings, we can put some details. So I do want to get into, for instance, a client. We will go down to their planner. Maybe this is the wrong client to show because they don't have a meeting, but let's just say they had a meeting here. It'd be planned. Here's the subject. Here's the meeting date, who organized it, and then a whole bunch of details can be listed inside there as well. So we're super excited about this portal of all things to come. Plenty of changes and additions that we can make to it and customizations to make it unique to your company and to hopefully help with the IT relationship that you and we have, but then also being able to turn the keys over to you and allow you guys to use it for many more things besides just IT stuff. If you have any questions on this, please contact me, Joe Swoboda, or reach out to your account manager. Thank you.